Okay, action.
Hello and welcome to the worst movie ever made. This is season 4, episode 3. This is an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind: to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Ackman, joined by my fellow co-host and mad scientist, Rob Scucci. Hey, Rob, how are you? And why are we doing this?
I'm going to start with an embarrassing story, and I'll tell you why it is related to this movie.
Okay.
So you had a girlfriend in high school, right?
Yeah.
And we all did. I was in a relationship for like 4 years, and towards the end of it, it's like over, but you're still kind of like hanging on to it.
For sure.
So we were having one of those fights on AOL Instant Messenger.
Okay.
And at this point, it was like, let me guess, we're working on me again. Okay, so bling, bling, bling. I'm just letting all the messages come in. Another window pops up, and there's a friend of mine telling me that Primus just released a new EP with their original lineup.
Yeah.
And all these new music videos, all their old music videos, and like all this web content and stuff, that everything they've done up to that point in their career was going to be in this box set.
Yeah.
So I immediately open another tab and start telling one of my other friends really excitedly about, oh, it's got Windows Big Brown Beaver and all this great stuff on it. And then the response was, what the fuck are you talking about? I was messaging my girlfriend. And it was the kind of embarrassment where it's just like, oh shit. Like my mom and dad were like cooking dinner in the kitchen. And I just remember like getting up from my computer, like walking past them, going outside, like walking like a mile to the beach and just walking into the fucking ocean. Just because I was just like, all right. That's the embarrassment I felt for the people that made the movie Senseless.
Yeah, dude. Well said. I assume that put the last nail in the coffin of the relationship there.
No, he strung it along for another couple months.
Oh man.
Yeah. It was one of those like, ooh, there's one of those like, oh, I'm the one that fucked up this one for sure. That was totally my bad.
This was the last nail in the coffin for David Spade for me.
Yeah.
He was already teetering on 6 Feet Under for me, and this one just pushed it all the way. And he's not even the worst element of this movie.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get too far into it before we get really into it. That's, I noticed, is my like tagline. Let's get into it. So
yeah.
I'm going to lean in and annoy you listeners with that. Anyway, so let's get into the bad reviews. What do you say?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, so we've got 2 and then a mystery critic.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm excited for this one. Okay, first one is Owen Gleiberman of Entertainment Weekly. He says, her setups, this is about the director, her setups here are so witless and pedestrian that there's no imagination to the crude slapstick punchlines. We're just watching a bland gesture, pantomime, sensory overload.
Agreed.
Liam Lacey of the Globe and Mail. Just how dumb is Senseless? So dumb it even takes the fun out of stupid.
Okay.
And our mystery critic, right?
Mm-hmm.
They said this: how the fuck did I get here? What am I doing? I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to work in this movie business anymore. You want to guess who said that?
Was that Rajpal Ebert?
No, it was Penelope Spheris, the director. When asked to make a quote about this movie, she did not make another movie for theatrical release after this.
Yeah. Wow.
So that sums up the bad reviews for this section. Why don't we do some YouTube comments?
Sure. Here's the first one. Highly recommend this film. It's meant to be highly, but they forgot the H. Morgan Freeman gives a masterful performance as Nelson.
Huh? What?
I don't know. This was made 10 months ago.
Okay.
Now, more recently, 5 months ago, I also seen the movie on Bounce, and it was on BET, and I seemed to like this movie, and it was released in February 20th in 1998, and Marlon looks like a lot like Marcus from White Chicks, and I kind of totally love him in the movie, and I know that he is funny, man, and he is really, really talented. People from all over the world, if you are going to watch this movie, Senseless, you must watch it right now. Senseless 1998 movie review, funny Friday night.
Okay, that is the kind of cotton candy brained person that would enjoy this movie.
Yeah,
them and only them.
Yeah.
Okay, you got anything else, or you want me to move on to test number 1?
Let's just move on to test number 1.
All right, that is the worst of its kind. So not only are we going to get the critics' average for these 5 movies that we picked out of the more like this category, but we're also going to determine if this is the worst movie of all of them. So there's 5 other ones. 6 if you count Senseless. We get the critics' average, and then we compare it to Senseless's Rotten Tomatoes critic score. The difference is our score. That may sound confusing. It's really not. Let's just do test number 1, the worst of its kind.
Is this film the best of the worst or the worst of its kind?
Okay, so don't be a menace with the Wayans brothers. Don't be a menace in South Central while drinking your juice in the hood or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it is. I've seen it, but it's been a long time. And it's not that bad. But it only got a 31.
Okay.
SLC Punk. I think that you said
I like that movie. It's like one of those, like, you say the score, but my point will be clear on it when you say the score.
Well, Lillard was in it, and that's probably why it was suggested. Yeah. It got a 63, which isn't terrible.
It's once you get into the 60s, you're like, it's on the fence. It's basically based on taste at that point.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
House Party with Robin Harris. Apparently that got a 93. I've heard of it, never seen it.
Yeah, never saw it.
The Fisher King with Robin Williams, an 84.
Okay. All right.
And finally, My Cousin Vinny with Joe Pesci.
I love that movie.
Yeah, me too.
86? Nice.
Yeah. So the average is a 71.4.
All right.
You want to guess what Senseless got?
Like a 2?
It got a 6. So the result is a negative 65.4.
All right. Sounds good.
And it's by far the worst of its kind. Yeah. So that is our first score for test number 1. We will move now on to test number 2, the plot pitch.
All right.
So what we're going to do here is I'm going to act like some guy who came up with an idea in the movie business, and I'm pitching it to Rob, who is a major producer in Hollywood, in an elevator. So I got to make it short and sweet, and then we'll see if Rob wants to make the movie with me, and then he's going to give me a star grade so that we can compare it to the other movies we've done thus far. All right. We will now get into test number 2, the plot pitch.
Hey, God, hey, man. Hey, what? You want to hear my movie idea? No.
Okay, you want to count me down?
3, 2, 1, go for it.
Hey, man, it's 1998, right, my man? Look, people love farts, right, dude? People love penis jokes. People love racism, sexism, the objectification of women, jokes about drug addiction, homophobia, fat shaming, stereotyping, bigotry, and laughing at the Knicks, right?
Yeah, right.
Just give me $15 million, man. What do you say?
Are you fucking retarded?
So, are you gonna make this movie with me or what?
No, never.
Could you give me a star grade?
1.
Okay, let me move over so I can jot the score down because I didn't know what you were going to say. I might have guessed. Right. No. And
the reason I went so hard on this movie is not because I'm like a fan of it. It's just like I feel like it's everything. Like you don't spend $15 million to make a piece of shit.
No, you don't.
They try. This is them trying their hardest.
I could do that for the cost of the food I had last night.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's move on to test number 3, the worst dialogue, which sounds exactly like it is. I will give you 10 of the worst lines or segments of dialogue in the movie in reverse order. So number 10 will be the best of the bad, so to speak.
Yep.
And number 1 traditionally has been clips. So you will hear a clip for number 1 in this one as well. But it will be the worst dialogue in the movie. Let's do test number 3, the worst dialogue.
The worst movie ever made presents the worst dialogue ever made.
Okay, cool.
Right.
Number 10. Now, this is Daryl, Marlon Wayans' character. Right? He is talking about, it's like towards the end when he leaves that like glowing puddle on the bathroom floor in like the restaurant or whatever.
In like the polyester suit.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, right? And he says, I think the protocol 963 is finally leaving my system. That's not how it works at all. And I don't believe that they've ever called any kind of medication a protocol anything.
No, I can't say they have.
Because protocol is like a set of procedures.
Yeah.
not a medicine, not a. Anyway,
Yeah.
Number 9, LaFleur. That's Matthew Lillard's character, right?
Mm-hmm.
He says, "You may not have faith in fate, but fate has faith in you."
They were trying to make him like that weird Zen straight edge, and it didn't work.
Right. Trying to go for lovable, and in some ways he is, but not in this movie.
Yeah.
Nothing redeeming.
Nope.
Number 8, this is Daryl. He's talking to Janice, I believe is his love interest's name, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said he's smelling her perfume.
Yeah.
He says, "Ooh, oak, some flowers, a little vanilla." Janice says back, "That's exactly right." So that's supposed to show us his ability to sniff things out.
Mm-hmm.
Some flowers is exactly right. They could have said lilac.
Yeah.
They could have said dandelion rose.
Lavender. Stacey's got this lavender shampoo that I steal from her all the time because it smells fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. You want those nice, lady scents in your life sometimes. I get it. Number 7. This one is another Janice and Daryl conversation.
Okay.
Daryl has just finished cooking her dinner and she's eating it and she's like, "This is good." So she says, something to that effect. And he says, "See, cooking is all about balancing taste, smell, and texture." Then he goes over and blows out the candle and he says, "It's magic," which, offended me already. But then Janice says back, "Is there anything you can't do?" And he says, "Take my eyes off of you."
Yep.
Which was not okay. So it wasn't a comedy line. It was supposed to be like they slipped into these weird spots where he's supposed to be like the romantic figure. That's not the like farce of a comedy.
It goes rom-com for a second.
Yeah, but they really shouldn't have even dipped their toe at all because it's nothing like that. Number 6, this is Scott. So that's what's his face, David Spade that I hate. He says, as Daryl's having a nervous breakdown, he says, "Hey Daryl, why don't you pull over to the nervous breakdown lane?"
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't hate that one enough to be number 1. It's not. It doesn't have the kind of impact. Any further up on this list, but I did hate it.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
No, it's not. Clip number 1 is our 5th. So let's get into rectal irritation.
Oh, sweet. Okay, I'll get right on that.
Excellent. No, doctor, this is not excellent. This is an outrage. I'm gonna sue your ass. I'm gonna sue you.
Daryl, you are experiencing advanced rectal irritation. But the pain will pass as your neural pathways adjust.
Doc, you got nice nails. Can you scratch this for me, please? Right there. Oh, yeah.
To gain control over your senses, you have to exercise them.
Nice.
This is mind-numbingly stupid. I hate you for making me watch this.
You know the problem?
I didn't feel like I had like a stellar IQ to begin with, but I really feel like it's whatever it was. I mean, like I'm going to be worse at my career from now on.
Every clip in this movie, every joke in this movie is they push it too far, and I don't mean like pushing the envelope comedically or trying to really get some shock value in. It's just you had the punchline, your butt's itchy, and then like you go for like another 2 minutes scratching your ass.
It's outrageous. It's like the what really did Family Guy in for me is the chicken fights.
Yeah, the first one was good, and then they kept dragging it out.
It just doesn't it's not one of those jokes where when you get into like the 5th rehash, it becomes funny again. You can't do a joke and sustain it for that long because in this case, I feel like maybe the butt itching thing at the very beginning might have gotten a wider audience.
Yeah.
But the minute that you repeat it, or the minute that you drag it out to 10 seconds, people are starting to feel like, how old do they think I am?
The only joke I know of that has done that like absurdly successfully is Too Many Cooks. The Adult Swim thing. It's like Too Many Cooks, and it's just like a sitcom intro that goes for 14 minutes. And
okay.
And it's
Maybe
just
I
that's
have seen that. That sounds familiar now.
it's the only thing I've seen where it's like it's funny. You ran it
Yeah.
into the ground. It's not funny. It's funny again.
You got it. They got it
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, they got back hard.
Okay. I'll have to check that out. Number 4. This is Daryl trying to get pledged to Kappa whatever. And he's talking to some guy who maybe has the power to pledge him.
Mhm.
And he says, beat me. Spank me. You could brand the inside of my crack.
More butt jokes.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know if Marlon Wayne's had a lot of like pull at this point and just wanted to show off how in shape he is, but he's constantly talking about his nether region and how it's itching or how you should burn it or how you should slap it or smell it or something. I don't know.
It was a weird era in the 90s too, where it's like no matter what kind of movie it was, they wanted you to be cut for some reason. It was before method acting, before Christian Bale did like the whole like weight gain, weight loss thing. It's like even the dumpy guy's got a fucking like 8-pack going on. It's like,
he was in incredible shape to give him credit, but it's not comedy. I guess maybe for the rom-com aspect, they want to pull the ladies in by showing off his ripped texture, but I don't know. Number 3, you watch, it's going to get worse. It's going to get more stupid as we go. But we've got 3 more. Lorraine. So this is the not Janice love interest. It's more of the spoil, I think.
Okay.
Right? And she's like trying to sleep with him.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, I'd like to get you out of these clothes and into you. And then Daryl says, they smack whose hoe? Lorraine says, excuse me? Daryl says, sushi? Nah, I don't know him. Can you hear how hard it is for me to read these lines? I cannot get over how fucking stupid this is. I don't even like, I feel like maybe we're taking a hit. Maybe like people are going to think we're less funny because we're delivering these lines as a way to convey comedy, because this is a comedy pod, right?
Yeah.
This movie is so dumb. I don't want to read their comedy lines, even to make fun of them, because they're that bad. Sushi? No, I don't know. Because she said, excuse me. I just, I could go on a tangent for 10 minutes and try to dissect what they were thinking there. I would never know if I was right, so it's not worth doing. Also, really fucking stupid, so not worth doing. So I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to move on to number 2. Yeah. This is Daryl's mom, and this could have just as easily been in our most offensive section because it's offensive, but I've got plenty for that. So I chose this one. Daryl's mom says, Daryl, and he's talking to Janice on date night where they go to mom's house. Mm-hmm. Daryl was the smartest in his high school class, except for that Korean girl. What was her name, Daryl? Daryl says back, Fat Crack Ho or something. Yep. It's just that. I mean, there were guys that I worked with at like a supermarket, when I was like 17. Yeah. That had like, I don't know, like a big ass tribal tattoo, and then like the disturbed, like jack-o'-lantern looking like tattoo, and then like, a spider on the back of their leg, and a shit ton of piercings and stuff like that were your prototypical, like, and this maybe I'm just mad, so I'm just letting shit spew right now.
Do they have nuts swinging from the back of their truck?
Yeah, right. Yes. The kind of guy that's like in his 30s, but he's still like stocking, like, or working with the meats or whatever, like, because he's not getting promoted, is my point, because he's like too self-involved and hasn't matured. Yeah. No self-awareness. A lot funnier than this. Maybe would have laughed at Fat Crack Ho or something line. Yeah. Maybe would have had a chuckle. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm really struggling here, dude. I'm really struggling. Clip number 2 is our number 1 worst line ever. So why don't we hit that drum roll, baby?
And that's the drum roll this movie deserves. So just throwing that out there real quick. All right, and what's the clip?
Oh, it's called Smack Its Ass.
Respectful, intelligent, confident, without being full of himself.
Oh, I tell you, I'm full of something right about now.
It's like everybody wants to be the big man on campus. But nobody wants to be the real man on campus.
God damn, girl, you smell like something crawled up in you and died. Not you.
I'm beginning to feel like having standards is a curse.
Damn. What did you eat?
Corn? I don't remember eating no corn.
Oh, shit. God.
Are you okay in there?
Girl, I feel like I just gave birth. Somebody smack its ass.
Nice. I'm getting stared at very angrily.
All right, let's dissect this one.
Let's break it down.
All right, let's break it down and find the little kernels of corn
Yeah.
in that shitty dialogue. Marlon Wayans says, "Girl, it sounds like something crawled up in you and died." Right?
Yep.
How many times have you heard that?
1,000,000 times.
What did you eat?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Another. How many times have you heard that one, Rob?
1,000,000.
I haven't heard that. I don't remember eating corn, but everybody knows it doesn't digest. It doesn't make the segment funny. It's just fucking lame.
I had like a great aunt who always said that corn is nature's bookmark.
All right, thank you for pulling me back a little bit. Finally, I feel like I just gave birth, and then somebody smack its ass.
Mhm.
She's talking about the shit she just took.
Yeah, because back in the day, they'd slap the baby's ass when it was born to open its eyes up, right?
Right.
Something like that.
So pick up that shit and slap it on the figurative. All right, we're done with dialogue. That's it. We're moving on.
Yeah.
I
Let's do
fucking
it.
hate this. I said to Aaron, I will watch Wild Hogs 3 times before I watch this again. I
Now,
will do
see,
it.
I'd watch this just the one time because you're only out an hour and 40 minutes. You know?
All right, that's fair.
All right.
I will watch Wild Hogs 2.5 times
Okay.
before I watch this again. Test number 4, the worst acting test.
All right.
All right, so lately we've been doing just clips to let the actors speak for themselves. We want them to have a chance to defend themselves, so to speak. So we're going to play a few clips here, just examples of how bad the acting in this movie was, and you'll see for yourself in test number 4, the worst acting.
Test number 4. The worst acting. Naturally, we'd use the Catwoman theme for this one. Yeah.
I love that bumper, by the way.
I like how it cuts out right when the bass drops.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's like a steak that's just out of your reach.
Yeah, and it leaves you wanting just a little more.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like salivating a little bit. Speaking of saliva,
Okay.
this next clip is called "You Suck" by Mr. Lillard, who I think is one of the 2 best of the bad, along with Spade. But why don't we let it play? Clip number 3.
The thing is, I've been practicing how to say this all night down, because the thing is, the last thing I would want to do is hurt your feelings, right?
Got your key? Oh. Sometimes when it comes to hockey,
Sometimes people suck.
look, I don't care, okay? The only reason why I'm playing hockey or doing this stupid frat is to get this Smythe base job.
Oh, I know that, but to suck at hockey the way you suck, to suck the way that fat kids or old people might suck, you suck. Hey! You really suck, dog. It's like, you get on the ice and you're horrifying. You just watch, you're like a hose on there.
Give me that. I'm sorry?
All right, so this is a good example of when an actor decides to just go into an accent for like literally one word to accent it. I shouldn't have said accent, but he like all of a sudden becomes a guy from Brooklyn when he says horrifying.
And he's originally from Canada, and he says a boot like twice.
Oh, does he? I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think he had worse moments, but there wasn't anything clip worthy where he's like overacting because it's mostly just sounds and grunts. Because this is caveman material for stupid people.
Yeah.
So you can't really sample that. So that I did feel like was pretty bad. But it's actually not his worst. So we're going to move on to another clip. And this one's called, and this is a little offensive, so I apologize to our listeners out there with Tourette syndrome. This one is called Tourette syndrome.
But you all just cut this shit!
Oh my God.
You better fix that damn watch. And you, rich girl, we know you got money. Put that damn diamond away. And hey, British guy, if you're gonna live in this country, you better go see a damn dentist about that stink-ass breath. You smell like hot garbage. Now please, I'm trying to take a test here. This is my future.
Mr. Witherspoon, sit down. And one more outburst from you, and you are out of my classroom.
Oh, I'm sorry, Professor. That was my Tourette syndrome. Piss on me, I'm on fire! So I just can't help it. Michael Jackson's a Puerto Rican. See, OJ's on welfare. I see him on the line. I just can't help it. You look like Bob Hope. Dennis Rodman got a coochie. I just really can't help it. I can't. I failed my...
What was wrong with that?
So much. I mean, I like literally every clip we've pulled so far has been, well, maybe not Matthew Lillard, but offensive.
Yeah.
This movie has aged the worst of any movie I've ever seen. It's not entirely the reason that I'm losing my grasp of the English language. I'm so mad. I'm sorry. I was deeply offended. But I actually think that was maybe his worst moment. When he's doing the Dennis Rodman has a coochie, OJ is all of that stuff. That second half of the clip really showed how far out of the range of what a person would sound like he was. Not to mention that, like, if you're having this nervous breakdown after a guy told you it's going to heighten your senses, right?
Yeah.
You're probably just going to remove yourself from the class because the professor, administering the test is probably going to fail you until you didn't ever come back if you do what he did.
Yeah.
And you're going to you're just not going to do that. But then the second half got even worse. I just couldn't believe it. I could not believe this movie. At no point in this movie could I believe what I was watching. Bob Hastick, former guest of the show, two-time guest, right?
Yeah, 2 times.
We're going to have him on again, probably this season. Hey, Bob, how you doing? He messaged us on Instagram. I don't know if you saw it, but he said, I watched this for 20 minutes, and then I said, yeah, I can't do it. And stopped watching. And I was like, I wish I had that option, man. I really do.
Show business, baby.
All right, let's get on to clip number 5. This is our third example of 4. Math gets a little fuzzy here, but this one's called "Yeah."
Is a tricky one. Remember, chain is only as strong as its weakest link. And Witherspoon, everybody knows you're the weakest link.
Scum.
And weak links must be forged in fire.
Hold on, Scott.
Get over there, buddy. Come on now. Let's go. Take the hits. Ah! Yeah, like that. Ah! You suck. Ah! Yeah.
My mom hits harder than that.
Yeah.
It gives off a this might be for a later segment. It kind of gives off a plantation owner vibe.
Oh my God. Wow. I should have caught that. I didn't even care. Wow.
I'm not laughing at the content. I'm laughing at the audacity, just for our listeners.
Yes.
To be clear here.
I'm really wishing that I caught that because I don't. I mean, let me skip ahead.
Okay.
And add 1, maybe 5. I don't know. Holy shit.
Let's sit down and rap about this for a second, shall we?
Okay, so before we go any further, I'm just writing plantation owner vibe for our next test. All right. Our fourth clip and last of the worst acting. Thank you for hanging in with us. If clips aren't your thing, but we love them. So this one's called Watch Your Back.
This is April, my beautiful little sister.
Hi.
And this is my little man, Darius.
Hi.
And that's Brandon. And this right here is...
Hello there, my beautiful sister.
Hey, man, watch out. This one's mine.
You better watch your back.
Let me get a good look at my dolls.
Okay, I don't know if it translated as well as I was hoping, but that kid sucks.
Yeah.
But most kids do, right? I mean,
yeah.
I try not to get on them too hard, but that kid's physical acting for just that line delivery took me. It took the last like scintilla of in the movie that I had and pulled me out of it.
Fair enough.
Okay, so Rob, you would say that the dialogue was worse than Apprentice, right?
In every conceivable way that you can imagine, and then also every inconceivable way, also that.
You would say that the acting was worse than Apprentice, right?
They're not real people. I know it's a movie, but like they're not real people. Like,
No,
it's just,
they're not.
They're not portraying real people. They're not played by real people. It's just like a bunch of people went on an ether frolic and hit roll on the film and just went for it, you know?
Yeah, you would think that this was like the 80s cocaine binge time, but I don't know what the fuck they were on. Anyway, I just wanted to get the official, yes, it's worse than Apprentice on both of those, so that I can jot it down. And why don't we head to your ad read before we go any further?
Sure, let me just pull that up really quick. This is a good one. Today's episode of The Worst Movie Ever Made is brought to you by Shallow Graves by Dave. Sometimes in life, you have to bury the hatchet. Sometimes it's other evidence. Shallow Graves by Dave is the first business of its kind to charge by the foot, so no need goes unburied. Pet death? Choose from one of 7 different designer shoeboxes. Hiding treasure? We've got treasure hunting packages that all the kiddos will be enthralled by. Messy breakup? Just name the coordinates and try to be discreet. Shallow Graves by Dave, because secrets are only dirt deep.
Dude, I love your brain, dude. It's a strange place, but
yeah, it is.
It makes sense somehow.
Yeah, it works.
Right,
It's like a bunch of jumbled wires that are connected to nothing, but like somehow like the system works. I don't know.
Yeah, so somehow there's like electrons bouncing around in there.
That
tie them together occasionally. I get it.
Exactly.
All right, before we go into the 5 interesting facts that we've been doing, I want to just get into the 5th test because we got to get this out of the way.
Okay.
Our 5th test is called the most offensive.
Okay.
This might simply be the most offensive movie I've ever seen.
Yep.
So I want to do that before we talk about facts and take a chill pill, cool down a little bit.
Okay.
So let's get into test number 5, a test that measures how offensive the movie is with precision. Absolute precision. The most offensive.
Damn it! I am tired of being Santa Claus! You get your together and you get your ass in the damn car. We're going. Now, damn it! Okay.
All right.
All right, I'm going to lightning round this.
Okay.
And I'm just going to point out ones that I find particularly offensive. Let's just say, if you haven't already gotten some kind of a grip on how offensive this movie is, then you are not paying attention.
Okay.
Because we've done dialogue, we've done worst acting, and already I just feel like the muck, just inches of muck on top of this movie.
Yeah, and let me just weigh in real quick. It's
Marlon Wayans.
Marlon Wayans, yes.
Woo.
I understand like racial jokes and like gay jokes and all that. We grew up in the 90s. Like that was a commonplace.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you're like with your really good friends and like someone is of a certain persuasion and you rip on them, it's like out of pure fucking love. Like the way you rip on your friends is like the reason you're able to rip on your friends accurately is because you know them and appreciate them well enough to know things about them.
Yeah, good point.
Whereas in this movie, everybody kind of vaguely knows each other and they're saying the same shit.
Yeah, yes.
So it's a problem.
All right, I get it. Yeah, there's not enough of an established relationship.
There's no camaraderie. Everybody's just kind of like button heads. Yeah.
Like, imagine you walk into your new job day one and just start throwing out like slightly, scandalous racy jokes.
Yeah.
Like, not a good idea.
No, you gotta wait till you're with a company for like a year before you start like slipping out like something that might offend somebody who works with you.
Exactly. Never a race joke, by the way. Don't ever do that.
No, never a race joke. Just like accurate things you know about them from observing them for a year.
Exactly. I feel the need in 2022 to make sure that we are very clear that we don't do that ever.
Yes, never.
Okay, lightning round for the most offensive.
Okay.
Number one, the 2.5 hour bisexual phase joke had something to do with Interview with a Vampire or whatever. Brad Pitt, Matthew Lillard, whatever.
Yeah.
Number two, for $3,000, I'll be your little outbreak monkey, says Daryl. Number three, excuse me, somebody isn't zestfully clean this morning, Daryl says to a woman in front of him.
Yeah.
Number four, the butt zoom in.
Mm-hmm.
This one was extremely offensive.
The chick in the khakis when he's looking out the window, right?
Yeah, she's just like walking down the street in New York or whatever. Yeah. He zooms in on her butt with his senses.
Yep.
And then he puts his hands up like he's gripping a watermelon that he just ripped open, like only in the mouth section, and then starts licking it.
Yes.
Yes.
Like he's getting the ice cream out of an ice cream sandwich.
Right. I was just trying to think of something big enough that his hands would be where her butt is.
Yeah.
That's all I can come up with. But ice cream's a really big ice cream sandwich, or one in each hand, and he's licking through the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's go with that.
All right, sounds good.
Number five. Now I have to toss more salad, says the gay guy.
Yep.
Number six. Where did you guys hide the butter? Another gay joke.
Yep.
Did that mean they put it up each other's butts?
That's an oil. That would be an oil-based lubricant. You got to use water-based anyway, so it's completely, logical inconsistencies.
You can run into some issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's throw that in there. Remind me. Number seven. Listening to the bathroom conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that.
No.
If you have super hearing, don't listen to me poop.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate it. Number eight. How much will I get for filling this? Daryl says as he slaps a 5-gallon jug down on the sperm donor counter.
Yep. Bucket of cum.
Hey, look at this. Look at what I jotted down here. Plantation owner vibe.
Yeah. Total plantation owner vibe.
Number 9, Tourette's joke.
Yep.
Number 10, all the Asian jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Number 11, at the end when they're doing the test for the test with a live audience for who gets the job.
Yeah.
Mr. Daryl Witherspoon is not paying attention. He's like looking at Janice or something, and the older white guy is like, Mr. Witherspoon, yo, and the yo gets Daryl's attention. Number 12, Matthew Lillard at the end is in traditional apparel, I'll say, to try to be as light as I can be. And then our last clip of the day is this one's called "Fuck This Movie."
I am Ishmael Ahmed Mohammed Achtui.
Have you donated sperm before?
Yeah,
Uh-huh, and you're familiar with the procedure?
I've been doing it since I was 12.
The payment procedure, $50 upon procurement of the sperm.
Cool. Do you have any of those procurement aids?
Oh, certainly. Dirty. Beaver hunt. Big butt.
Damn.
Bondage cheerleaders.
I'm good for one more. Just give me something really freaky. Like some Siamese midget twins menaging a goat or something.
Siamese twins menaging a goat.
That is a 1-minute stretch of this movie that is an hour and 40. That is where I knew that I was in trouble. I knew that I was in for a long and painful experience.
Yeah, because that was like 5 minutes in.
Yeah, 5 minutes and 53 seconds in.
Yep.
To 7 minutes is what I jotted down. Do you have any mentions?
The offensive part, I hate the whole, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have a hockey scholarship. Or like, oh, I'm sorry, my dad's not an owner of whatever. And it's like,
yeah.
I think if you still have that anti-nepotism feeling in your heart over the age of like 18,
yeah,
you're fucking stupid. Because nepotism, yes, it gives you a job.
Right.
But if you're fucking up, you get fired.
That tends to be true.
There's nothing wrong with knowing people or having like an advantage. And just going to college, I was a commuter. I lived at home and drove to school every day. And, you know, I worked my ass off. But like the people I knew that were like better off than me were very generous people, like mostly speaking.
Tends to be true.
Like if you, like, one time I left my wallet in my car and I needed a coffee. Someone just bought me a coffee because like we were kind of buds, and they just, hey, it doesn't hurt me any bit to help you out. And I feel like that's the situation for a lot of people, where it's like, just because someone's slightly better off than you or has something that may seem to have been handed to them, like Matthew Lillard's character, it's like, do you know how hockey scholarships work? That kid's been up at like 4 a.m. every day since he was fucking 3 years old, fucking drilling.
For sure.
So like, it's not like his scholarship fell out of his ass.
Right. Also, I think that nepotism statement that you're going for is bolstered by the fact that when I was probably in my mid-20s, I realized that if I was the person who was inheriting money, what am I going to do? Throw it away? Like, of course I'm going to take it. That doesn't make you any less of a human. Like, anybody would be like, thanks, Dad. Thanks, Mom, for all the help. Like, that's human nature. You know, like, yes, it's true that some silver spooners are tool bags.
Assholes. Yeah.
Yeah. But so are some people who are the dead in line of poverty. You know, it's just, that's human nature. So
I have 3 jobs. I work 90 hours a week. I'm like, you know, with those 3 jobs, you're probably getting so much fast food. You don't even need a 3rd job, because everything you earn from that 3rd job is spending money on gas and fast food. So you could probably actually just only go down to 2. You know what I mean? Like, I did that thing where I was juggling so many jobs. I'm like, I'm actually spending more money to go to this 3rd job than I'm actually
sometimes
than I'm actually earning.
Yeah. Anyway, diatribe. But I appreciate you bringing that out, because that was a good point. Let's move on to the 5 interesting facts.
Okay.
Brad Dourif, that's the scientist.
Yes.
Does not blink in any of his scenes.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Like, literally, that is a fact about the movie. But also wanted to mention, I think I put this in loopholes, but it doesn't really belong there. That scientist, for you Lord of the Rings fans out there, is Grima Wormtongue, if you hadn't picked that up. He is a really cool character in my estimation. He's a total douche, but I like him anyway. I don't know. I tend to like villains, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, number 4, the punk band playing on TV. I don't suppose you know, because I've never heard of them.
I feel like I recognized them and then forgot to write it down, because I'm not really into punk that much, but
no.
I'm assuming it was like Fugazi or something.
Naked Aggression.
Naked Aggression, way off.
Yeah, I hadn't even heard of it. Number 3, the needle to Daryl's heart when LaFleur thinks that he had OD'd was apparently a Pulp Fiction reference that they did not tie closely enough for me to get it.
I was thinking that, the Uma Thurman thing, yeah.
Okay. Number 2, while the theme of the Jeffersons is playing, East Side, right?
Mm-hmm.
To a deluxe apartment, right?
Yep.
The image in the movie is the Lower West Side of Manhattan. And finally, number 1, and I kind of hinted at this. By hinted, I mean I just said it. This was Penelope Spheeris's last major theatrical release. She never made another major movie, probably because she knew how bad she was at it, I hope.
Yeah.
I hope she's doing well, but I hope she feels guilty about this still.
She should.
She really, really should.
Yeah.
All right, let's throw it to test number 6. This is the most cliche. So what we do is we talk about cliche and tropey moments. and we count them up. And I've been doing this lightning round style as well, just to keep the runtime down. Yeah. So why don't we go with that? And if you have anything to add or object to, you let me know, Rob. Test number 6, the most cliche.
All I've got to say is that moving forward, at the end of the day, it is what it is, and we need to know the only constant is change in these unprecedented times. So let's put our best foot forward and our aces in our places, because we're like a family and we're in it to win it.
All right, so number 1, the annoying rich kid.
Yep.
Number 2, slept through the verbal warning about the medicine.
Yep.
Number 3, the teeth and breath gross out moment.
Yep.
Number 4, he fixes his senses issues in no time.
Yep.
Number 5, the 6th finalist. Kind of like Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
Not supposed to be another entrant, but goddammit, he made it. Number 6, damn girl, you smell like something crawled up your ass and died. I said this already, but it is so cliche that I included it.
Yep.
Number 7, taking more than is prescribed to try to double its effects or something. Who knows? Just really, because if they didn't do that, then what's the conflict, right?
Yeah.
Number 8, not knowing if it's Patrick Ewing. Yeah. You don't know it's him when you're sitting there on the court talking to him, right? That's very cliche. Number 8, not knowing it's Tyson when you're in the apartment thinking you're talking to Janice, his dog. Number 10, Janice comes over as Lorraine leaves. Of course, Lorraine's trying to get into his pants or whatever she says, and as she's leaving, Janice just happens to come up the stairs. Blah blah blah. Number 11, the I wish I could trust you conflict. It's been 2 dates, though. Who cares?
Yeah. Romeo and Juliet killed themselves after 3 days, so I anything can happen, I guess.
That's
Chris, I'm fucking with you. I'm not trying to defend this movie.
I love you for that. That was a good point. I'm not secretly like getting really red over here. Luckily, they can't see the video. Conveniently blind, exactly as long as it screws him over.
Yep.
Over and over again. The confession on the podium at the end after he wins the whole shebang. He's like, "Hey, I took drugs." He didn't need to say.
No, just run with the job.
Yeah, dude. Seriously. Yeah. Number 14, Tyson is Janice's father. I was like, come on, really? Like, you can't make the world that small. You know what I mean? That kind of there's another Harry Potter reference for you, but like, I think it was around when Malfoy was announced to be the seeker for the Slytherin team. I was like, fuck this, you know, like, come on, really? Anyway, you got any mentions?
I
hate putting you on the spot like this, man.
One with the who crawled up your ass and died. I actually laughed. This is the one thing in the movie I laughed at. And you want to know what it is?
What?
When he lights the match.
Oh, okay. He's like he'd rather smell the soap.
Yeah, because it recalled the memory that the Christmas episode of Ren and Stimpy called Son of Stimpy. Stimpy farts in an alley and some guy goes, "Gee, right! Somebody light a match!" And it reminded me of that. That's why I like it so much.
Called you back to that moment. I get it. All right, dude. Let's get into the world famous bit, the shitcoin. So what we do here is somebody messages me or Rob on our Instagram, and they're trying to sell us Bitcoin. Really, what they're trying to do is control our finances for the rest of our life. Yeah, it's a scam. So fuck them. And what we do is we mess with them. Yeah, heavily. So then we take screenshots and then we read it on air.
That's exactly what we do.
Let's get into the bit, the shitcoin.
Right. So I am reading the part of invest with Doran. It's cut off, but
something.
There we go. Hello, wave emoticon. Nice to meet you. I came across your page and I love the content. Hands up. You seem positive and influential. I am just trying to connect with open-minded and ambitious individuals when it comes to work and making an additional income. Do you keep your options open?
Can't talk now. At work. I'll message later. I'm curious.
Okay. Hello, wave emoticon. Are you less busy for now?
Oh, yeah. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. So are you interested in investing in Bitcoin and how you can make profit from it weekly?
Wowie. Very yes.
Okay, good. Thumbs up emoticon. I will tell you more about binary trade, but first, what your name and where are you from?
My name, Katie. What your name? Shout it out.
Nice name, hearts floating around, blushing, smiling face emoticon.
I hearted that.
I'm Du- I'm Durara from Austin, Texas, and you?
I'm Katie from Phoenix's Arizona.
Now I will tell you how binary trade works, how you can invest and make profit from it weekly, okay?
Okay, yes. Yes, please. Okay.
Okay, good. So binary trade work essentially with the stock market. We predict the outcome of the stock market through the signals and hereby make investments into the stock market, predicting its rise and fall. For an individual with no experience, starting trade get really tricky. If you don't have good signal and can't read them properly, you can run at loss instead making profit. That's why I am here. I help an individual trade with a 100% profit guarantee for 10% charges. I hope you understand?
You type fast. I mean, that was like in like 12 seconds. It's guarantee?
Yes. Please know you are not sending your money to me or anyone else. I'm just here to guide you on how to make a successful investment. You're going to create your trade account yourself and fund it yourself with the amount you want to invest. Okay?
Okay. When? Next week? Monday? I must have missed this week already.
I liked that. No, you have not missed this week. Okay.
Cheerios.
On this platform, profit is credited to your trading account daily, and after 7 days of trade, you will be able to withdraw profit from your trading account to your bank account or any of your debit credit card.
That's great. I'd high five you if I had hands. Sad emoji.
There is what we call your trading account. Your trading account is where you monitor profit and trading. Also, your trading account is of your privacy.
I replied to, I hope you understand, which was like a half hour ago. I think so.
I'm sure you're gonna thank me for reinvest more after receiving your profit. We have sophisticated trading technology and software which gives us good strategies and signals to make sure your profits are guaranteed. I hope you understand.
I believe I do.
One thing you have to know is that I'm very transparent with my trading, and all that is required of my client is 100% trust for me to make this good with you, like I have done with other clients of mine. And I'm sure at the end of the success, we can maintain a long term business relationship. First, I will guide you on how to purchase Bitcoin worth the amount you want to invest. And secondly, we will proceed on creating your trade account. And it's cut off by her freaking. And your trade account with the Bitcoin you purchase to enable profit start growing.
Are you a fiduciary?
And please note, when profit is complete, you will be able to withdraw your profit from your trade account to your bank account or any other debit/credit card.
Like, you have to help me?
I liked that. So, how much can you afford to invest for a start?
I'll have to sell my Harley Quinn collectibles online, but I think I can amass at least $115. I can't play with them anymore anyway, sad emoticon.
Okay, good. And you will be monitoring your trade and see your profit roll on your trade account. So, you have a Cash App or any Bitcoin wallet? I hope you understand.
Sorry, had to run to the latrine and pass a pretty little roll of dirty quarters. Can you say that again?
I said, do you have Cash App or any Bitcoin wallet? So, are you starting with 115, right?
I'll have to ask the Council of 11. Whoa! Oh! I gotta go!
Question mark, question mark, question mark?
End scene.
You know, when you go on the longer ones like that, you notice their patterns. Like no matter what you say, they copy and paste a word track. That's just like
That's exactly
right. So anywho,
that's exactly why I was like, man, you type fast, because it was like 3 paragraphs in like I'm not kidding you, it was like 10 seconds or something.
Yeah.
I once again had to find it. I found my new Charleston shoe, and that was the pretty little roll of dirty quarters. All right. Let's move it on to test number 7.
Okay.
The worst graphics.
All right.
So basically, we discussed whether or not the graphics of this movie are worse than the one that we have going, which so far is Sorcerer's Apprentice. So you can go ahead and guess what we think of that. Let's head into test number 7, the worst graphics.
Welcome to test number 7. The worst graphics.
All right, so number 1, the glow-in-the-dark hamster.
Yeah.
Dumb. Just dumb. The meds are also glow-in-the-dark. Typical. Yep. The fuzzy vision, for me, was super irritating. They did it so much, and it just made me like, I don't know. When I thought I didn't want to watch this movie as much as possible, they made it worse for me. And I branch over to the queasy visuals associated with loud sounds. So like they didn't fuzz it out like they did for the visual thing, but they like zoomed in and out and made it like really trippy when he was like hearing an alarm that was too loud or something.
The fisheye lens on his face.
Constantly. That too. Just those kind of visuals just made me want to like throw up. This is for I'm a Knicks fan. I've probably mentioned on the podcast before. When they go to Madison Square Garden, it's like very fucking clearly a high school gym.
Yeah.
Do their best.
Totally. I don't play like any sport, and I knew that.
Yeah, I mean they did their best. But I wrote an absolute joke. And then to piggyback on that a little bit, the hockey arena also super cheap.
Yeah.
Like super duper cheap. So like it's supposed to be a really nice college, and they're like, 200 people in attendance, maybe.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking joke. You got anything you want to mention? There wasn't a lot of graphics,
Not graphics, but something worth mentioning, and this is the only spot I could do it really. I like sound design and listening to it. Like, I'm not like I do the audio for the show, and to the best of my ability, I know how to like mix and master. Stuff. Thank you. I know how to mix and master like guitar, bass, drums, vocals very simply. Like pan one to the left, pan one to the right, and like mix it, and then I pay someone else to master it because I'm not good at that.
Okay.
So with that wheelhouse of knowledge, the sound design in my mind for this movie is fucking great. Like if you wore headphones while watching like those scenes where the senses were spazzing out, it was jarring, and it was like lots of left right shit, lots of lots of crazy panning and automation and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but, like I'm sure like a seasoned audio engineer might be like, oh, that's garbage, but compared to other movies I've seen, like the Ernest movies, like that are in the same wheelhouse as being a bad movie, this had exceptionally good sound design in my opinion.
Okay, that's good to know because I watched it on my phone actually at my convenience. And that's why my phone is damaged. Yeah.
That actually voids the warranty in the Apple contract. Like if you watch Senseless on this device,
right. In the fine print. So it's the one moment where the fine print is actually to your benefit.
Yeah.
All right. So let's hop over to the loopholes.
Okay.
We're going to just mention everything that is the loopholes is a big umbrella for everything we want to say about the movie. That we didn't have a chance to say, but mostly it's we're just calling it out for being stupid.
Yeah.
Which, this one was actually kind of stupid.
Yeah.
So let's hop into the loopholes, starting with the flyer towards the beginning that says free seminar, earn money.
Yeah.
Turns out that it's a drug trial. Probably write that on your flyer.
Yeah.
He's injecting. Okay, so I looked this up. So I don't want anybody messaging me about how my science is wrong here because it's right.
Okay, I can live with that.
I'm just mad. I'm sorry. He's injecting me way more. Or in me. Why did I say that? He's injecting way more than 6 cc's.
Yeah, no, a shitload more.
Yeah, because
like 6 ounces.
Right, because according to the internet, 30 or so to an ounce.
Yeah.
So he's. I mean, you can see in the like the diesel fucking syringe that he's using. I mean, he's pulling like an ounce out of that thing. So he's injecting like 30 cc's. He was told to do 6 before bed every night. I'm just pointing that out. The injections he's given himself. are way over the top. So, can you drink on this drug? Because wouldn't that fudge the results?
Yeah.
He's going to parties and shit.
That's true.
You can call me, says Janice. This is good. This probably should have been in the cliche, the tropey area.
Yeah.
She doesn't give him her number. So, this happens in movies all the time. It's like, all right, I'll see you tonight. They don't name a time. All right, I'll meet you there. There's no address. All right, call me later. They didn't get a number. It's like just a frustrating little moment.
Yeah.
What was okay, so you remember when Scott rejects Daryl as a Kappa inductee?
Yeah.
And as he's walking away, Scott goes, Daryl.
Yep.
And then the whole crowd behind him in unison knows to go, Daryl.
Daryl Strawberry, right?
Was it? Oh, maybe
it might be because they did that. They did the same thing on The Simpsons, and everything I know is through The Simpsons, so that's how I know that.
Damn. Okay, I thought it was just a taunt that they all knew how to do somehow.
Yeah. Could be. I mean, I don't know which came out first, but that was around the 90s.
Yeah. Daryl Strawberry, I think, was the 80s pitcher, right? So The Simpsons would have referenced it in the 90s, and it would have made sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe they were behind the time. I don't know. Anyway, would you ever inject that shit into your ass?
That hard up for $3,000, probably.
Okay, I wouldn't inject like highlighter Mountain Dew.
I'm an introvert and a Gemini, so
okay.
What I would do
the
is
planets have aligned for you.
I would do the
experiment.
experiment.
Are you trying to make me more mad with this planets aligning bullshit?
Yes. Yeah, because Mercury was in retrograde, so that allows me to be a cunt to everybody I know.
Oh my god, you know me too well.
But if it were me, I wouldn't be going for the Smythe Bates job, first of all, but I would just do the treatment and lay on the couch and then probably I don't know, I'd order a bunch of really good food and
sure.
Go to the museum and look at some really good art and do.
Ooh,
I would just kind of go under the radar, do a bunch of low key shit with heightened senses, and then collect my $3,000.
Yeah, nice. Okay, that's a good plan. That's better than his.
Yes.
When you started talking about Mercury being in retrograde, you know what happened in my head?
What's that?
I heard one night in Bangkok and the world's your oyster, and then
I've got that effect on people.
Yeah, and then what was the Armageddon one that's already slipped my mind?
I don't want to close your eyes.
Then I heard that, and I was like, Rob is just getting way too deep into my brain. Yep. All right, this is an obvious one, but is Scott a 33-year-old senior?
Yes.
Okay, because he's 33 in 98.
Yeah, no, that was in the YouTube comments.
Yeah. So he's the superhero Daredevil, basically.
Yeah.
He's blind, but all his senses, right?
Yeah.
What's with the extremely close ties between Kappa, whatever, and the Smythe Bates fucking thing,
I wanted to talk about this because I don't think that's a thing. Maybe an Ivy League, because that's an Ivy League school they're at. But
I can't imagine.
Why would you put all your eggs in one basket? Wouldn't you just set up a bunch of internships after you graduate, or work part time in a couple different offices? You're really gonna be I need to get the Smythe Bates job. I need to get this grade in this class to go to this job. That pays $60,000 a year, which in 1997 money is still not even that much fucking money.
No, it's not the kind of money that they're making it seem.
No,
that's the whole intertwined aspect of it just showed that they didn't. I feel like she was scared. The director was scared to branch out of the very local community she built for the movie.
Yeah,
which does no favors. When you make everything that tight knit, it really hampers you in a lot of ways. We've already mentioned some, but that's another one. Okay, so why did the hockey player attempt to hit the coach with the puck?
I don't know.
There's a moment where Daryl reaches out and catches a puck right in front of his face, the coach.
Yeah.
Which meant that if the hockey player is any good, he was trying to hit the coach with the puck.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Hey, dude. Greg Grunberg alert.
Yeah.
He was all right. So That's an inside joke, probably, because we had in our pilot episodes, I had devised this Greg Grunberg like alert, basically, where if it's an actor that's like on the level of a Greg Grunberg, where you see him and you just like you don't know his name, you know,
just that guy.
that
He's
we
that
throw it
guy.
out there. Yeah, so it's gonna be like a Greg Grunberg moment of the movie. Greg Grunberg is actually in this. He's one of the hockey announcers. He's very young.
Okay.
I already mentioned that the doctor was screaming worm tongue, so I'll skip that. Why don't his arms work? What is that? Which sense is that?
Feeling, I guess. He doesn't have like
That was my
agency over his limbs.
Right, but like everything else works. It's very localized feeling.
I know, but I'm just, you asked me and I answered.
Yeah, well, stop defending this movie. Why does he decide to cheat on Janice with Lorraine? I mean, like he's denying her in the beginning, and then his arms don't work or whatever, and then his wiener doesn't work, but then he's begging for it at the end.
Saw that as maybe I'm looking into it too much. Maybe he thought it was the main romantic interest, whose name I forgot already, even though you just said it. Like maybe he thought,
I don't know.
Maybe his senses were so. Because I'm trying to go through the logic of the writers of this film, where maybe he couldn't see, so if he felt her hair, he'd know it was somebody else. But maybe he's just like so out of it that he thinks
I
it's
don't know.
someone else. Yeah. So
they're both pretty hot, They're both hot chicks for sure, but
even if you lose one sense, like it's the other person.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah.
If you have heightened smell, you can tell that it's not oak, some flowers and vanilla.
Yeah.
Why is he knocked unconscious from a dick kick?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why wouldn't the coach replace him at the point of being 12-0 down?
Isn't hockey and soccer like they're both like super low scoring sports, aren't they? Like you get 4 points.
If it got to like 4-0, he would have replaced the goalie.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be a huge crowd at the Smythe Bits final exam thing. That fucking pissed me off. What is Matthew Lillard doing there?
I got 2 tickets to the Smythe Bates debate. Come on, bring the kids.
I would rather go to the movies and watch Senseless than go to the Smythe Bates debate. My God.
Yeah.
All right, man. You want to do your review, and then we'll pop over to bad credit names.
Yeah, I didn't write down a review, but like I'm gonna say how I feel about this movie. I think you might agree with me. This movie had everything it needed to be a good movie, and I think we've been over this with like movies like Wild Hogs, where it's like if somebody came up to me and like pitched a movie going, this guy's taking an experimental drug that gives him heightened senses, but he fucks up and all his senses are going out of whack, and like there's other things at stake, and you show me the storyboard, I'd be like, here's the beats, here's where it could be good.
Yeah.
The biggest problem is the jokes go too long. Every single joke goes way too fucking long. When the Tourette scene, he has showed the zoom in and like the frantic sound and like everything that's grossing him out, and he just stood up and said, "Where am I? Just cut the shit!" And like cut to him being in the guidance counselor's office or like the dean's office, like getting shoot out. That'd be funnier. And
that'd be better.
Every single scene in this movie has a moment like that where it's like they could have cut this down and like it could have been like a 35-minute like sitcom.
That's
and it
exactly what I might have said just now. Is this movie is probably intentionally stretched out because there's no material there.
They had to hit a minute count or something. There had to be a certain amount of pages on the script when it's just like the movie didn't need that. If you just condensed all the gags and like tightened the plot, it would have been funny. It would have been a funny movie.
It could have been. Yeah, it could have been. I mean, you give me a different cast of characters. Like, I have some Marlon Wayne's experience, and he's better than this. David Spade is debatable. I'm a Disney guy. I know that gets me made fun of a little bit. I'm okay with it. I've got thick skin. He's really good as Cusco in The Emperor's New Groove, if you haven't seen it. Like, David Spade's best performance, in my opinion, is where he's not on screen because you just don't want to look at him. You don't want to look at David Spade.
He's an annoying little shit.
Yeah. So he's actually really good. He performs well in that movie, and that's what I'll give him that. Maybe some Tommy Boy. I'll give him a little Tommy Boy.
Oh yeah, I'll give him that.
Yeah, but what was it? Black Sheep, I think.
Yeah, Black Sheep and Tommy Boy, and then he was on the sitcom Just Shoot Me.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. I mean, he's got
Not
a lot of
funny.
things. He's on the bill for a bunch, but I'm not really a black sheep guy. So I'm just going to give him Emperor's New Groove, and I'll go ahead and I'll give him Tommy Boy.
Okay.
Anyway, bad credit names, right?
Yep.
I've got these in order. They're going to be less funny to begin, and in my opinion, funnier as we exit the segment. Jake Jacobson, just mean.
Yeah.
Some guy named Fluke did 4 songs on the soundtrack.
Huh. All right.
Doug Dow.
Yeah.
CC Harshaw, and I wanted to know, is that how you spell CC? CEECEE?
I guess so.
Okay. Got to do it. Rip Torn. I know he's a major actor. His name is Rip Torn.
I'm so upset with him for being in this movie.
Me too. What a downgrade.
Yeah.
Richard King, but only because if you think about it.
Yeah. Dickens.
Rocky Quaros.
Okay.
Rocky Quaros. Oscar Mitt. He's a return customer.
Okay.
Ezra Dweck.
Ezra Dweck.
Senseless Shannon.
Okay.
That sounds backwards for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Another return customer. Solange Schwalbe.
Okay.
Okay, so it's going to start to get a little better here. Louis Linfoot.
Right.
Cindy Marty.
Okay.
Ivor Brogger.
That sounds like a schnitzel. Are you enjoying your Ivor Brogger?
9. Just take a one schnitzel. 2 more.
Okay.
I think you're gonna like this one. Mike Butters.
Nice. Dirty line cutter.
Last one. Zane Wiener. Sorry to all the wieners out there.
Good stuff.
All right, let's compare the movies. We'll plug our stuff and we'll go home.
Okay.
We're already there, but we'll
yes,
walk away from the computer.
Yes, I'll walk to the bathroom.
Yeah, me too. I gotta pee.
Yeah.
All right, Sorcerer's Apprentice, worst of the season so far.
Mm-hmm.
Close fight last week. I think it was 4-3, right?
Yeah, 4-3.
Check this out. Worst of its kind. -2. It was the worst of its kind for Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Okay.
Also, worst of its kind, Senseless.
Okay.
-65.4. So, a bit of a difference there.
Yeah.
A light 2 from Sorcerer's Apprentice on the star grade. I didn't jot down whether you said no or yes to the plot on that one.
Wait for
Sorcerer's Apprentice. I think you did. Did want to make it.
I want to make it.
Okay, you made it. Okay. So for Senseless, you did not want to make it, and you gave it a 1.
Yes.
So that's another one. Dialogue. Senseless is worse. No debate there.
Yeah.
Acting. Senseless is worse.
Yep.
Senseless is by far more offensive.
Yep.
Sorcerer's Apprentice is more cliche, with 28 instances of tropey, cliche, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
214 from Senseless. So there you go. Great graphics from Sorcerer's Apprentice, and I wrote for Senseless, non-existent.
Yes.
So a score, I'm going to just count it up real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 1. Senseless wins.
Yep.
In a landslide. Good luck to everyone else. I fucking hated this movie. I hope that I was able to keep it on track a little bit better than I expected. Anyway, so hey, guess what we're doing for next week? We put up a poll between the faculty and Roadhouse. Do you know what one?
It was neck and neck last time I checked. So
It was.
I'm thinking if it was going the way I was thinking, Roadhouse probably won, right?
It won by 3. I think it was 27-24 final count with some extra. I mean, we've been putting. It's my bad, but we've been putting up the polls a little late, so we're not getting. I mean, we had a couple of polls that were like over 100 votes.
Yeah.
This one we only amassed just over 50, but it is for Roadhouse, which I'm excited because I think that's going to be like Demolition Man, which is one of my favorite episodes that we've done because it's just really fun to pick apart, and it's going to be controversial. There's going to be people that come to the defense of Roadhouse.
Yeah.
But there's no reason to because it's really terrible. Have you seen it?
No, but I know the Swayzes are crazy. So,
dude, you're gonna thoroughly enjoy this.
Is
movie.
it like I've seen the movie Black Dog, and I feel like that's based on the title and the cover. Is Black Dog like a really bad like throwback to Roadhouse, which is also a Swayze movie?
I haven't seen it. So Swayze is a bodyguard who basically he goes to rough and tumble kind of bars, like dives that have big like musical acts and stuff like that, where people get in fights and there's like girls stripping and stuff when they shouldn't be, and all sorts of debauchery and violence. And he being a lead bodyguard because he's so good at karate, like and discipline, not just the physical aspect, but is also like very good at getting people in line, like finding out which he's like John Taffer. Bar Rescue.
Oh God, Bar Rescue. Yep.
Yeah, he's a John Taffer that knows karate, right?
All
so
right,
he gets everybody's ducks in a row, but he finds one particularly difficult town because there's a head honcho in that town who's got a ton of money, and then they butt heads, and that's basically all.
And his name's probably Slammer or Butch or something.
There's no doubt there's a slammer.
Okay.
In there. If there's not a slammer, I'll eat my shoe. So.
All right, I'll hold you to that.
All right, man. You want to plug our audio?
Yeah, so you could hear us. We are the worst movie ever made. You could hear us at Anchor FM and Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Google Play, and then like any other podcast app. You could get the RSS feed off Anchor and just put it in your preferred podcast app and listen to us there. And then you could also email us at worstmovieevermade@gmail.com. That's with no the.
That is true. We couldn't get the.
We couldn't get the.
All right, so I just want to thank you for listening. I'm going to plug our social, but to tag on to the thank you, I want to apologize for my behavior tonight. I realize I was more ornery than usual. It's because Rob made me watch this, so blame Rob.
Yeah.
If you want to check out our social, we have